Hi, everyone. Welcome to the story behind the story. Today, we're talking with Judy Granlee-Gates. Please introduce yourself, Judy.
Hi, I'm Judy Granlee-Gates, and I am a custom home builder by day. And I've been wanting to write this book for so long, and I've just found a fantastic publishing company and am really excited about the book launch.
Well, thank you on behalf of Red Thread. What is the full title of your book, my dear?
It is called Bigger Living, Smaller Space, a guide. No, it is not. It's called Bigger Living, Smaller Space, Resizing for a Clean and Cozy Home. How can I not remember the name of my own book?
Listen, we totally get it. The subtitle can be tricky, so I'm really glad you nailed it down. It sounds fantastic. So tell us, who did you write this book for, and what are you hoping they'll get from it?
Well, there's so many people that this book is for, several different groups, but really, I hate to say it's for everyone, but there's a big group of people it's for. And what I hope people will take away from it is that, when you talk about clutter, my book is about decluttering. And when you talk about clutter, a lot of people think, oh, I don't have any clutter. I don't know anybody who doesn't have any clutter. Minimalists have some clutter. It's just impossible not to have it. And so I hope it helps people see the clutter that they really do have, the big clutter. It's not necessarily a hoarder or a messy house. People with the neatest house have clutter. Just open a closet, open a drawer, and there you'll find it. And I hope that they'll see that there's an easy way to get rid of that they don't have to hang on to all the things, and that they can really resize their current home or think about resizing down the road, so that they can really live a little bit simpler and not be managing all their things.
Beautiful. So tell us a little bit about the inspiration that made you decide to write this book.
It actually started years ago with my wonderful grandma Fran. My grandma had lived in this amazing house for 50 years. And after my grandpa died, she managed to live there a number of years longer. But of course, she was getting older and it was time for her to go live in a smaller place. And she just moved to a senior apartment, but she lived in a house that was probably 3,500 square feet for 50 years. And my grandma kept wrapping paper at Christmas. She would run around screaming, save the bows, save the boxes. And she would fold all the wrapping paper up, except at Christmas, we made her burn it. And she had so much stuff because she was an artist, she was a musician, she did all the things, and she kept everything. So when she went to move, it was really hard. And she had agreed, yeah, I need to move. Did she want to? No, not at all. And the process of going through her things was excruciating for her. And it really broke her heart. And there were so many opportunities. I've done this a few times with people, more than a few times. And every time it's the same. I watch people, their fear grows about leaving their home. And so they just cling more tightly to their possessions. And they've, in many cases, been asked to pare down before the inevitable, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't. And one day I decided, after losing both parents, grandparents, my father-in-law, we have one mother left between my husband and I, we're not doing this to our child. And we're not going to live this way with a garage filled with stuff we don't want from relatives who it was important to. Mm-hmm. And we decluttered and downsized our house. We moved from 3,400 square feet to 1,131. We gave away, sold, donated pretty much everything we owned. And we started over. And it was the most liberating thing that I've ever done. And that's what really inspired me to write the book.
Beautiful. Was there anything that you had to overcome personally or professionally in order to write and publish this book?
Oh, professionally, for sure. Personally, it was a fear factor. Is my work good enough to be out in the world? The fear of every person who sits down with a pen to write a book. Professionally, I'm busy, and there was a real, can I do this? Do I have the time? And I don't know what the commitment is. I mean, I know I'm going to need time, but it's really easy to underestimate that. So I really had to kind of lean on some people in my own office. Professionally, I'm self-employed, and figure out how I was going to make all this work. And I won't lie, it was a little bit of a pinch at times, but so worth it in the end.
Fabulous. So those of you listening today, what would you like to tell them? Give them a takeaway to walk away with from your book and from this interview.
I think so many people have things that they're keeping because it was special to someone else. It holds no value other than, I remember when Christmas, my husband's granny gave us this casserole dish that is just hideous. Sorry. And it was great grandma Coburn's. And she was like almost like a drill sergeant when she gave it to us about how we had to care for it and love it and use it and don't break it. And I have it still, I'm not going to lie, but I hate it. And those are the kinds of things that really kind of screw people up, right?
Yeah.
So keep all these things that we don't need. And I would like people to know that there are ways to repurpose these things. There are ways to give them with grace so you feel good about it. There's so many things you can do with some of these sentimental items so they're useful. They're not stuffed in the back of a cupboard or a cabinet. My favorite saying that I came up with out of the book, it kind of stuck, is like, manage your stuff before it manages you, right? Like my grandma ended up being in the end managed by her stuff, right? She was controlled by the fear of it all going away. And so I think that to do that at a younger age is really smart and super freeing. And I'd really like people to think about, like, at some point you do have to process your life. Yeah. Why not start on it now and have a little more freedom and enjoyability?
Absolutely. Where, my friend, can people find you?
Find me all over the interweb. My website is www.Judy Granlee-Gates. Granlee is Granlee. And I also have a great Facebook community. It's called Declutter and Resize, and it's an interactive community where we are going to be talking about different topics every week that I hope people will weigh in on. And then also people can just randomly say, hey, I've got this question. What do you guys do? How can I get help? I just want it to be a good place for people to like get a pat on the head if they need to get rid of that casserole dish.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us today, Judy.
Thank you, Adrienne.